Let's see what we get here from Dan Fradenburgh. Got bishop d8. Okay, let's just take the juicer. We're playing subs right now for anybody who's wondering.
I mean, golly.
Okay, let's take the tower.
Ladies and gentlemen. No, I'm just kidding. That's Gotham Chess. What's up, everybody? I'm Dan Fradenburgh for chesswithinvestors.com. This is not for commercial purposes. We're not selling anything. This is not a sponsored video. My other sponsors for my other videos, I'm not including out of respect for Hikaru Nakamura. So, we live on a planet called Earth. Me personally, I'm from the internet, but I spend a significant amount of time here on Earth. But on this planet we call Earth, there is one person who is the #2 ranked chess player out of all of the hundreds of millions of people who play chess. And Hikaru Nakamura is his name. He's an American. He is also a 5-time US chess champion. And I had the entry from my bucket list checked just 2 days ago. This is my second or third time recording this. I've got an analysis board, and oh yes, he played the Bong Cloud. So hopefully this will give you a good idea on how to beat the Bong Cloud. Now, of course, I was flustered like crazy when I ended up playing this match because we actually had 3 different aborted matches because I was on chess.com/play instead of chess.com/play/online when he sent the challenge. And so it was supposed to start automatically, and I was absolutely freaking out. And so the thing that's kind of funny, there are 2 things about this starting position. So I started here on move 3, and this is not the opening that I do as a response. I always do a Sicilian in response to e4. So on my bucket list, I absolutely wanted to play Hikaru Nakamura. It was a toss-up. If I'm in my heart of hearts, it was a toss-up between wanting to play Hikaru more than anybody else or Garry Kasparov. But honestly, I follow Hikaru more than anybody else, and I just love watching him play bullet chess. It's so inspiring. So I really appreciate the fact that I had this chance to do this. But anyway, so it was a little bit unusual for me to have this pawn here. And the funny thing is, I found out immediately that even 3 days before, I was teaching my 9-year-old daughter how to fight against the Bong Cloud because I was using the Bong Cloud against her, and I knew the most important thing you can do is take out that front pawn. You have to take out that front pawn because that keeps him from getting a big white center, as Hikaru says. So I've got 5 different engine lines in the analysis board here to go off of to see what is going on. So Hikaru starts off by bringing out d3. So I believe that was the best move there. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, d5 was the best move. And so then Hikaru brings this one out here, which this is the lowest, I believe, that the eval bar ever got in this entire match here. Now I see that the top engine move next is to take right here, but of course once again I was flustered. I saw that this was covered by both the pawn and the knight, and also eventually the queen. So I'm like, okay, I should be able to scramble something out there, and I forgot my training in the heat of the moment in this 3-minute game, and I blitzed out this move right here, dropping my advantage from 4 something down to 1.7, 1.8 it's saying. So the engines, they keep on moving around here. Anyway, so Hikaru moves back. This was one thing about the Bong Cloud that I wasn't sure about, which is, like, does it still count as a Bong Cloud if you move your king out and then move it back? But anyway, I capture over here, which that wasn't that bad of a move. Next up, he takes back, and so now I'm going to start listing off the 5 different top moves that it recommends on the analysis board. The first one is bishop to c5. So that's the top move to maintain the advantage. That has a 1.95 a negative, so in favor for black is what I'm really saying. It also says bishop to e6 isn't bad right here. Then we have h6 as an option right there. That's to stop the bishop from coming in and pinning my knight to the queen. Then we have a5 is the next option it has, and then b6. Those are the different engine moves it says next. But I did I? Oh, okay. I did bring up my bishop out here, so good for me. Next up, Hikaru brings out this pawn to stop me from bringing my knight in over here, and I castle, which was a mistake. Now it says that the best move was bishop takes on f2. So it says a bishop sack is the best move right here. That ups the that keeps the advantage at -2.94. In other words, basically 3-pawn advantage against the king. Follow up being king takes the bishop, then knight takes e4. So it's saying he sack this next for check. So I'll start the lines again. So it's supposed to be takes, takes, takes with check, and then king e3. So that's so I'm in the wrong spot. So king e3, knight g3. So the knight over here. So that's the follow up, the best follow up. The next one that it's recommending is queen to d6. So it's saying right there, that's 1.8. The other option is castle, which is what I did. So I guess I'm not too much of a slouch on this move, even though, don't worry, I totally blunder the house more or less. But anyway, so Hikaru responds by bringing his knight out right here, threatening the pawn, just basically blocking off these squares for me. And the computer recommends that I go queen to d6 now, so that move has come back again. But the other ones that it thinks aren't bad is b6 to support this this bishop, or b5 up here, followed by it's expecting queen c2 would be the move, followed by queen d6. So it'll look like that. The other follow-up we have here is b5 as an option, which is expecting to have be3 like that as the response.
Now you Schwab, good move, by the way, good move. But I'm going to go g4 and kick the knight.
Oh, that made me feel good. That was nice. And then Hikaru responds by kicking the knight. But my entire plan was to basically just tickle the king. Even if I wind up trading pieces, I figure that's my best chance. But the response it's saying for me, knight f6 is okay. So it says retreating was the best move actually, instead of putting it on check. And there's only one other move that maintains any advantage at all. So it says either that or that. Those are the only two moves that work. So I got the one that is not as good, but it's still up there. Hikaru responds by taking back. So now the best move is now e takes f4 like that, and that's exactly what I do, which is cool. And Hikaru responds by threatening my bishop. Now the best response is bishop to b6 like that, followed by king e1. Okay, so the computer really wants that king back there, and then knight e7, which is back here. So that's what it's recommending. So I retreat over here, and now this is where Hikaru now has a slight advantage, but is not winning quite yet. He brings out his bishop right here, so that eventually he'll get that scope. That totally pays off later in the game. Spoiler alert. It says that my best response from here is it's changing on me now. It's saying rook to e8. So it's saying putting the rook right there immediately is the best move, followed by actually no, yeah, that is the best move. b6 it says is similar, but all the moves, like none of them actually bring an advantage. So I do that one, best move according to the engine. Next up, knight comes out. It's recommending that I go knight e7 now, back here, and there's basically some bad news coming out here. The other move that it says it's nowhere near as good. It says bishop to f8. So bishop to f8 would be back to retreat all the way over here. So I bring this bishop out to try and get a little bit of development, but I'm basically just, this is where like my nerves are already getting the best of me, because I'm basically asking for this fork. But in the stream, Hikaru mentioned that that's not so good, because if I did, I actually am free to take that pawn, because this pawn would be pinned with the rook to the king, so he wouldn't actually be able to take back. So so that's why he does this first, and with the plans to get his king out of the way to break the pin, but also support that pawn after with the rook. So that's how far a super grand master is looking here. Now, in response to this rook move, the best engine move is knight to e7. So once again, it's just screaming for that to happen. The other moves are not as good. That's literally the best move on the board. But I end up going like, okay, well, I didn't like how he did have this big white center here, and I'm going like, okay, well, I think what I need to do is I need to find some sort of way to either get a rook right up here, or I need to move my knight here to right there so that I can trade here. But like, that's way too slow, and if I weren't so flustered, I probably would have known better. Anyway, so I bring this pawn out. Chess base actually says that that's basically losing on the spot, but Hikaru moves his king all the way out of the way over here. So I bring up my rook right here, even though the computer says, once again, knight e7 was the best move. Somewhat, it's still not even comparable. Bishop to c8 is the other one that it's saying is a viable alternative. But rook comes out here. Now he's absolutely in a winning position. It's all falling apart because I blundered this fork that I mentioned earlier.
I didn't try to fork with d5s after takes. There's a pin.
I'm in damage control mode. So my question then is, do I keep the bishop or do I keep the knight? And so I'm like, okay, I'm going to try and keep the knight, because I'm like, okay, maybe I can trade while he's busy gobbling up all this stuff over here. And sure enough, he takes the bishop. And it says that the proper response is to immediately take this. Maybe that's because the knight's already... the knight's already protected, but then it's doubly protected. It keeps the rook on this file, staring at this rook through this pawn. But instead, I decide I'm going to take this knight. It didn't change the eval. Okay, yeah, it did. That's basically a 2-pawn difference. He takes back, which is ef7. So he's actually saying check. E takes f7 check. That's is what it's saying. So e takes f7. F7 is way the heck down here. So it's actually saying this is the best move, because I'd have to take back and move my king a little bit more and expose it. But that's not what he does. Part of it, of course, I'm a subscriber, and so there's no doubt that he's kind of taking it easy on me. But I know that I did end up lasting to 29 moves after a 3-move setup that I wasn't used to. So anyway, I take back with the rook, which is so f takes e. Oh, okay. So apparently I was supposed to take with the pawn, but instead I take with the rook, which is it's about 0.7 difference. So it would have been much better to take with the pawn. So he immediately says, okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and threaten your bishop. You're going to have to clear that out, which is what I did. But the problem with clearing this bishop out is that if I move it anywhere at all, it reveals my undefended queen. And that's why I'm sure it was saying that I should have taken with the pawn. That way my queen stays defended. Basically, everything's falling apart by this point already. So anyway, so I move over here going, all right, I'll trade queens.
Let's trade the queens. Let's go knight d4, hitting the rook here while hitting the pawn on b7. Let's see what we get here from Dan Fradenburgh.
Okay, I get to trade queens with Hikaru, lucky me. So that's what happens. I take back. There's no doubt that that's the best move. Next up, Hikaru ends up moving his knight over here, where the best response, it's switching between a couple different moves right here. It says rook e to b6, so it means this one goes over here is the best move right now, which kind of makes sense, because if I end up losing a pawn, or well, basically trading pawns, he takes back with a knight. It's not the end of the world, and I got extra cover by the 2 rooks, and this rook coming back on the exchange. It's not too bad. So it says that's the best move. The second best move is only 0.1 centipawns different, which is f3. So it's hang on a second. So yeah, it says f. Yeah, f3 is the other move, which is pushing over here. Next up, so my move, I move this back, which it didn't affect the eval that much, and so that fianchettoed bishop comes in clutch to take out my b pawn right there, and also threaten my rook at the same time. So the panic is set in, and so this is where I dropped my very first f-bomb out of all of the podcasts that I've done in the Chess with Investors show, because of course he can just go ahead and take with the knight and take back. What the engine says is that I should have moved it all the way over here, which is a pretty sweet move, admittedly, because I'd be able to pick up this pawn unless he defends with the king, and so if he just sits there, then maybe I'd be able to head up here and then trade a rook more or less evenly. But instead I do this, which that one bugged me, but I was able to laugh about it almost immediately. So he takes the tower, I take back, which is obviously the only thing I really can do, but it actually says I should have taken that with the pawn as well, probably because I've got this bishop that has no defenders, and I have to waste a tempo just to defend it later. So I should have taken that with the pawn. Instead I take with the rook. So just like I mentioned, he brings out his other rook into play, attacking this bishop right here. And I'm like, okay, well, I better defend it. And he says, okay, well, rooks love being on the 7th rank, and he's basically threatening that pawn right there. And the best move in response is supposed to be a4, it says here. So it actually says moving that up there. Okay, yeah, now it's changing its mind a little by 7/100 of basically 7 centipawns. So it's a 0.07. So the difference is between that one or bishop to e7. So right there, defended by the rook, I can move the king over to better defend the rook as well if he decides to come down here, or move his rook over to move down there. But instead I'm like, okay, panic mode. I need to have an escape square because my back rank is completely compromised, and he ends up pinning this pawn to my king, which is a little bit scary. It says that bishop to e7 once again is the best engine move, but I'm still losing basically by 8 pawns. So I move over to defend this, but obviously it's really overwhelmed, and he ends up going like, yeah, well, I got a pawn to take care of this guy right here.
Let's go e6 here, just open it up. I'm up a tower here, so I don't mind any trades.
It says there's only one move that doesn't result in forced mate, and that is this one right here. So I have to do that. I was able to scrape that one together, but he takes with the rook. Now it says there are 2 moves that avoid forced mate. One of them is king to h8, so that's this one right here, or king to h7. Either of those 2, they're not forced mate, but h8 is the better square to move to. But I move over here forgetting that he can actually take it because it's a revealed it's a revealed attack. So I'm not able to take back with my pawn or my rook. So I'm hosed. That gets me down to mate in 5. And so that's mate in 4, and I should have gone over here because when I go over here it's mate in 2.
So there's just checkmate. We'll keep going. The next game.
Good game, Hikaru.
Next game is
and so that is me getting smoked by Hikaru Nakamura, the world rank number 2. As far as the actual I had the actual game review on there, and he was over 90%. I didn't even scrounge together a 70 with that abysmal performance, but I hope to play Hikaru again. Hikaru, if you're watching, I really would love to play you on chesswithinvestors.com, where we play a live game of chess while discussing whatever our investment strategies are. Most of my guests are in commercial real estate and alternative investments like that, but I also have some different hedge fund managers, VC fund creators, and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, that's what I got for you today. Thanks a lot for watching, and if you want to do me a solid, you can hit that big hideous subscribe button that you'll see in your screen down there, because not just because it's ugly, it's actually, if enough people hit it, then the deadbeats at YouTube will actually start paying for these videos instead of me, and I think that would be really dope. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching. Make sure you check out chesswithinvestors.com to get some more videos. Thanks. Bye. Oh, hey there. I hope you enjoyed the show. And if you are into chess, if you play chess and you're an investor of some sort, real estate or otherwise, well, you can be on the show too. I know, right? All you have to do is connect with me on LinkedIn. My name's Dan Fradenburgh, so I'm super duper easy to find on LinkedIn, where I spend most of my social media time. But if you're one of those people who just don't play chess, don't pay attention to him. I don't judge. All you have to do is go to dandoesdeals.com and you'll find the Chance Encounter series, where you're welcome to be a guest on it, where you can share your core competencies that you're likely to contribute to a GP team or a JV. You don't have to be doing syndications. And we'll talk about your buy boxing and stuff like that. It's easy peasy. It's like 15 minutes long to record, and there are no real fastball questions. Just tell the truth and everybody will be fine. And if that's not really your thing, dandoesdeals.com, it also has the way to meet more, join more people, add more people to your investor list, your different deal sponsor operators and KPs and passive investors, all that kind of stuff. I'm probably repeating myself, but I'll give you the rest of your day. I appreciate you watching Chess with Investors. See you next time. Bye.